What's going on, guys? This is the Club of the Man 1993 coming at you for the second Turn Alert of today, as we are on the 42nd edition of WWE Turn Alert, and we're discussing the second turn to happen at WrestleMania 34. And the third of the whole weekend, we had Roderick Strong turning heel at NXT TakeOver New Orleans. We had Bray Wyatt turning face on the pre-show WrestleMania 34, and then we had this shocker coming to us indeed. That happened after a match that, wasn't bad for what it was, but it definitely could have been better for what we got. But the turn at the end was definitely a shocker. So we're talking about the King of Strong Style, the artist known as Shinsuke Nakamura. So Nakamura won the Royal Rumble this year, right? But around the time before the Rumble, he wasn't really being built up too well. He had that terrible feud with Jinder Mahal that just that has really put him down big time, I feel. And he's never really recovered since, but the WWE tried to throw him into the main event picture right away. And then he won the Rumble, which he looked great in the Rumble. He gave him about 40 minutes in the Rumble, and he looked good there. But then he had a weak little feud with Rusev leading the Fastlane, which the match at Fastlane they had weren't too bad. I'll give it that. But there really wasn't that much build for him and AJ's match though at WrestleMania until 2 weeks ago. I felt like, okay, they're finally going somewhere with this. The tease of the attack of the King Shot sort of phenomenal form, just playing the mind games, which that could have started sooner. It felt like the feud was actually beginning 2 weeks ago when that happened. And then they had their match again, which I'd say was alright, but for a WrestleMania match, expected a lot better from these two. But it was still a passable match, I felt, in my opinion. And AJ retained, which I know a lot of people wanted to see AJ retain because they felt that Shinsuke was not ready to be in the main event. I only picked Shinsuke to win the match because I thought that that's what WWE was going to go with, but I definitely agreed that Shinsuke wasn't ready yet to be WWE champion. After the match, though, AJ and Shinsuke, showed a sign of respect and sportsmanship, and then Shinsuke grabbed the title. He goes to hand it to AJ. AJ gets it, holds it up high, and then Shinsuke's smiling and whatnot, doing his usual spew, and then he low blows him. Low blows AJ Styles right where it does not hurt if you are a guy. Right where it does not feel pretty darn good, where it does hurt if you are a guy. I gotta fix that big time. Wow, that was a big botch right there. And then he just started, talking some trash to AJ in Japanese because didn't really understand what he was saying. But then he started just stomping on AJ and just kicking him. Pretty much just kicked him out of the ring, and then he hit the King Shasa on him outside the ring before he left, and AJ just stayed laying there. So yeah, some people say, what would Shinsuke turn heel? I wasn't really expecting it at all. If anything, most of the heel or face turns that I thought would at least happen around this time did not happen. So this was a swerve. I was definitely shocked that they did this. Now, here's the thing here. How I feel about this, I think it could be good to help Shinsuke in the long run. Because, I do feel that, the character that was in NXT, yes, he had his weird, goofy looking moments, but in NXT, it was still, it came across as good. Up on a main roster, it kind of makes him look a little awkward and strange and whatnot, and they made it look like a mockery out of him, especially after the segments with Jinder Mahal making fun of his facial expressions. So I feel like, they've definitely made Shinsuke a little bit awkward. So maybe turning him heel, this will be like what happened with AJ Styles when he turned heel back in 2016. He also turned heel just, light that fire in him to get him on the level he needed to be. I think that's what they can do here with Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, I had 2 other points I wanted to bring up also. I did say in my WrestleMania review that last night, the fact about how, it is hard. I feel like it is challenging to pull off a well-meaning, face or heel turn or maybe a face turn, but a heel turn. I feel like, it's got to be for something big coming down the line. And I'm not saying I didn't like this. I did like this, but the fact that how the build only got really started getting very good at all 2 weeks ago, and the fact that this match felt like it was setting up for something even bigger to come down the line, I feel like this is one of those matches that they could have done a match like this at a different beach show, or even the Royal Rumble or something like that. Stuff like the big match that we're going to get between these two down the line. Later on down the line. That's what I meant by that. It's WrestleMania isn't quite, really a table-setting show. And that's why I feel like, the last 2 weeks in this match, which again, wasn't bad at all, but definitely could have been better for a WrestleMania match. I just feel like, it doesn't always need to be, like a table set match. It should be like, a big shocking turn of events that could lead to something bigger down the line, which if that's the case, then okay, I can definitely, change it, what I'm saying right now and say, okay, yes, that was definitely still a good move. I mean, it's still going to be a good move for Shinsuke's career, but WrestleMania is not a show where I feel like you have to be like, setting up, for the future. Well, unless it's something, like The Rock and John Cena setting up, their first match, second match, forget that ever happened, by the way. But also, I want to bring up another point that my good friend, shout out to him, Hassan the Mighty, said in his WrestleMania review that he posted earlier today. Um, he did mention something, though, how, this continues to show how WWE does not know how to book a solid babyface without turning them heel first, pretty much. And honestly, he does have a point there. The WWE continue to bring up guys like, Sami Zayn or Shinsuke Nakamura. Even like, AJ Styles couldn't get over. Not saying over, but he couldn't quite get on the level that he is now by coming in as a babyface. I thought maybe they might pull this with Asuka turning heel also last night when Asuka lost at first, but they did not. But Asuka's a whole different story. We'll talk about that another time. But he does have a point, WWE just continues to show, though, that they know how to book strong heels better than, like, solid, like, purebred baby faces. Like, they can't write a baby face, like, going on a great run without having them have a great run as a heel first, pretty much, is what he's saying. And he's got a good point, I do agree. So, this turn for Shinsuke is not bad. This could be good for him in the long run, but he does have a point, and like I said, Hassan had the point of, like, the fact that, he couldn't get where he was as a babyface without turning heel first. But also keep in mind, too, I watched Alexa Man's live review also. He mentioned that apparently Nakamura was a heel for most of his run in New Japan Pro Wrestling. So maybe this is where he could thrive. I can finally light the fire and get him on track again. It'd be nice to see him have a good run as a babyface before, but that's what's going to take to get the fire back under him, and let's see where this heel turn goes. But what I'd like to see happen is either maybe like, one of the pay-per-views over the summer, even if they wait to do this match again until SummerSlam, that's where Shinsuke should win the WWE Championship off of AJ and have him keep it till next year's WrestleMania where we get probably the next big dream match for Shinsuke Nakamura. And that's Shinsuke Nakamura versus a man who never lost the WWE Championship or the Intercontinental Championship for that matter as well. I think that man facing Shinsuke Nakamura for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 35 should be Daniel Bryan. I already have next year's possible. Well, either that or Charlotte and Ronda should be the main event next year's WrestleMania. I take my money now. Again, I'm planning on going. There's some long-term booking. If Robbie's watching this, Robbie can probably think of an idea, though, like of a storyline behind it. But that's the thing that should go in the long run. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Daniel Bryan, WrestleMania 35 WWE Championship. Take my money and let's go. But guys, that is my thoughts on Shinsuke Nakamura's heel turn. What do you guys think of Shinsuke Nakamura's heel turn? Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it's a bad idea? Do you think I made a point about how, sometimes, WrestleMania should be, much of like a table setter for like the next part of this feud? Or do you think also, like, that it's also show that the WWE does not know how to book a babyface without turning heel as well? Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below, and be sure to always click my like and subscribe for more content to come to this channel, and follow me on Twitter as well at DemandAir93. I'll be back up here live later on for my live Raw after WrestleMania review, and until then, guys, stay tuned for more WWE Turn Alert.